Okay, so before the slides come up, let me just do a quick appreciation first, right? As we always do. Please give a round of applause to my mentors, right? Who actually guided me in this business. They are Emerald Chan Chong and Emerald Francis Tan and Julie out in Penang as well. Please give them a round of applause. Also, obviously, to my business partner who is not here today, my wife, Kali. She is at home taking care of our 3 kids, so she's not here today. So, but please do give her a round of applause as well. All right. So today's topic, all right, as mentioned by the MC, is this corporate ladder versus the amway escalator. Okay. Now, a bit of a challenging topic, I would say, yeah, as mentioned by the MC, right? Because, well, firstly, what I'm going to share today is, you might think that I'm trying to compare between working life versus amway business, right? But realistically, these two are very different. One is you're working for somebody, and the other one, as a business, you're running by yourself, right? So it's actually a bit hard to compare, okay? But what I'm trying to do here today is just to create some awareness, perhaps, right, for those who are working, right, that there is actually, there are certain trends that's happening nowadays that you need to be aware of that could affect your job or your work, okay? Because a lot of times we work, we don't realize what's going on around us, right? We just go, wake up, go office, come back, that's it, and then repeat and repeat and repeat, okay? But you need to be aware of some of these trends, which I will go through in these slides, okay? And with that also, then also think to yourself, is it the right time for me to do something else as well, on top of working, right? I'm not telling you that, okay, after you listen to this, I'm going to quit my job and do MBA full time. Please don't do that, okay? Anything happens to you, don't come and blame me, okay? The objective here is to really just create awareness for you to think and to make the right choices in your life, okay? So, okay, let's have a quick start here. All right, so my journey so far, okay? So a bit of my background, since I think I've not really shared my story with a lot of you yet at this point, okay? As mentioned by the MC, I have close to about 20 years of experience in the corporate world. Started off, well, okay, got an education, studied engineering, right? So I come from an engineering background, very technical background. I was lucky enough to study in UK, so I studied in the University of Leeds. Got a first class honours.
Wow.
Studied very hard.
Wow.
Okay. Of course, it was something that was, sort of put into me by my parents. From small, it was like study. That's it. No play. Got a little bit of play there. Okay. So from small, really had that mindset that I really need to study hard, get a good job, come out, work, and get go up to the corporate ladder and so on, right? So so basically I graduated in 1998. Okay, so you might be able to guess my age. But anyway, do you remember what happened in 1998?
Financial crisis.
The Asian financial crisis, right? And I'm sure that is a bad time to come out and find a job, right? Everyone is cutting jobs and it's so difficult to get jobs. And that really happened to me. So the moment I came back to UK, tried to find a job, I could not get a single interview for 6 months. No job, right? So it was really tough. I mean, at that time, then I felt really motivated. It's like, wow, go all the way to UK, get a degree, come back, can't get a job. What is this, right? So, but anyhow, no other choice, right? At that time, I had not heard about MBA yet. Okay, it's all about getting a job. So just continue, right? Continue looking for a job, and I was lucky enough to get a job, but not in KL. I had to work in Penang, right? So I went up to Penang to work for about 4 years actually. Right? So I was in Penang for 4 years, and I guess I see that as a blessing because that was the point where I got introduced to CBI in Penang, right? As you all know, CBI started in Penang, right, by our founders, Crown Ambassador Sunny Ho and Guama, right? So actually, it's through my wife. Okay, at that time, I would say she's still my girlfriend. Okay, so she was introduced by her colleague to amway. Okay, and then obviously the first person she talked to is me. Right, so I'm one of the first few to be sponsored by her. All right. Obviously, I didn't really have much of a choice. Okay. This is the form, sign. Okay. All right. Sign. So obviously, I didn't know what all this thing was all about. I have heard about amway. Obviously, I think every one of you have sort of heard about amway, maybe from your parents, from your even grandparents, maybe, right? About the products and things like that. But I didn't really understand the business. It's all about, maybe I just heard about all good products, good quality products, that's all, right? So, joined but didn't do anything, right? Just sort of a support to my wife, okay? My wife, so she actually started doing the business, right, at that time. And while I was more concentrating on basically climbing the corporate ladder, right? So, as mentioned, I worked 4 years in Penang. And the nature of the job I was doing is a bit different from what I studied. Actually, quite a bit different from what I studied, right? As I mentioned, I studied engineering, right? Electrical engineering, in fact. And I came out to work as a software developer or a coder, as you know, right? Writing code and things like that. Now, when I say software developer or computer programmer, for example, what type of person do you have in your mind?
Computer.
Oh, computer face, right? 1 and 0 only, right? Sort of a nerd, if you think about it, right? So, I mean, it was true. At that time, I was really very quiet, okay? I don't like talking to people. I prefer talking to the computer. Because very straightforward. It's either yes or no, 1 or 0, that's all right? Very straightforward. So I spent a lot of time in front of the computer. I didn't really meet people and was really, really very introvert, okay? So this type of business, they tell you to come up the stage and talk, shake hand, really was not my cup of tea. Okay? So that's why I focus a lot on just doing the work and working, right? So to cut the story short, basically after 4 years, I came back to KL. Main reason is to get married, actually. Okay, I think it was about time to get married and settle down. Wanted to settle down in KL rather than in Penang. That's because this was where I was brought up. So came back here, got married, and actually I switched to another company, right? So this company, I was with them for more than 10 years. And I came in when the company was very young. It was a very small company, just started off. They needed people, they needed developers and so on. So I went in, worked with them, and basically climbed the corporate ladder through that company, right? So in that company, I came in as an engineer. And after working with them for many years, I went up, well, I think it was also fortunate that my superiors gave me a chance as well to go into management. But it's also a conscious choice on my end as well, because I realized that to progress in life, it is not just about technical knowledge, but it's also about people skills, right? Meeting people and developing your people skills and so on. So I made the decision to sort of step out from the technical background and into more of a customer-facing type of role. So I went into different roles like pre-sales, technical sales, marketing roles, product management roles. These are very customer-facing, but I can tell you it was difficult because I was not trained in this type of interactions at all, right? But I can say that at that time, I did attend some of the CVI trainings, and I think that really helped a lot. So, for those of you who are working, right, even though you might not be doing the business, if you're not doing the business, amway business seriously yet at this point, but do make it a point to come to train, right, to learn, right? Because whatever skills that you learn in this center can be used in not just your corporate world in your work, but also in your personal life. That's what I found for me personally as well, right? So things like public speaking, right? I attended the ESP as a student, right? Last time it was not called ESP, it was called the BDT, the Basic Distributed Training, right? First thing was first class itself. I was thrown up the stage to talk. Okay, first class, and you can imagine for someone who has never talked in front of a crowd, what's happening, it's like that. Right? Okay, so, but I can say it was a good experience. It was a breakthrough, right? Because, coming up here, and the more you do it, the more you get used to it, right? It's sort of a training for you as well. So I went through that, and so I would say that it actually helped in both my corporate world and also in amway, right? So in that sense, I guess it allowed me to move up the corporate ladder. So the last position I held in that company was as the director of their global services team, right? So this company, they grew from a small company to a very big public listed company in Malaysia, right? I won't mention the name, but you might get some idea of what I described, right? They're a telecommunications company, right? And they expanded into 5 countries, globally, right? They have presence offices in 5 countries, and I was asked to lead the services team in these 5 countries. So I had a team of about 50 people reporting to me globally, right? So you can imagine managing a global team, you have time zones to think about, right? I have one team in the US, I have one team in the Middle East, I have another team in Taiwan, and here as well, right? So managing across different time zones was quite difficult, I would say, all right? Because when they sleep, we are awake. When we are awake, they sleep, all right? So it's sort of like a 24-hour type of job, okay? So, but anyhow, I put my heart into it. I worked really hard because at that time, my only belief was really about climbing the corporate ladder, right? Because again, that was how I was brought up, right? But then something happened, okay, along the way. This company faced difficulties, financial difficulties, okay? That was, I think, about 3 to 4 years back from today, right? And so that sort of opened my mind, that, hey, the job is just a job, right? I mean, if something happens in the company, your income stops, what happens to the family, right? As I said, I have 3 kids. If I don't have any income, suddenly one day the income drops to 0, who is going to feed them? What are they going to eat? How are we going to pay for the house and things like that, right? All along I've been blinded to this. It's like, oh, comfortable job, very nice, high-paying job, traveling here and there, on business and things like that. So just didn't see it. It's just that you take this type of so-called tragedies, the company tragedies, to sort of open my mind. So at that point, that was when I started to step one leg onto the amway escalator. Okay? Now I will explain later why we can treat amway as an escalator, right? If you think about it, climbing a ladder, is it difficult? As you climb higher and higher, it's quite difficult, right? Escalator, you get an escalator and that's it, right? You don't even have to climb, right? But that doesn't mean that for amway, you just get on and that's it. You don't need to do anything, right? Building an amway business is also not easy, right? For those who are seriously building a business, it is not easy. It is a simple business, but it is not easy, I can tell you, right? But why is it called, I think it's amway is escalator? I will tell you later in the next few slides, okay? So in other words, anyway, at that point, I started to, both me and my wife started to really build the business seriously, all right? So that allowed us to qualify for platinum and Founders Platinum along the way. And of course, we are aiming for much higher, right? Because I think ultimately, at this point, I'm still working, right? I'm still not a full-time amway business builder yet. I'm still working, but the ultimate aim really is to get both legs onto the amway escalator one day, right? Okay, so that's my story so far. To be continued, maybe in the diamond recognition. Okay, so when you were small, have you been asked this question? Maybe by your teachers, by your parents, especially teachers, they will say, okay, murid-murid, karangan, apakah cita-cita anda, right? Right, what is your ambition, right? So, as I said, right, from small, we've always been taught that, study hard, get out, get a good job, and that's it, life will take care of you, right? But is that true? Is that really true? Again, you have to ask yourself, right? So, perhaps to help you to make some decisions, in terms of choices in life, right? Let me share with you some of the trends in terms of the job market, or even for businesses as well, right? What will happen in the very near future, right? So it shows a crystal ball, of course I'm not a fortune teller, okay? But this is all based on trends that we are also seeing right now, nowadays as well, okay? So firstly, now this one is maybe a bit technical. technical, right? Because I come from a technical background, I like techy stuff, right? Cool gadgets and stuff like that. But I will try to make it as easy to understand as possible. Okay. All right. The first one is artificial intelligence. Do you guys know what it is? AI. All right. So as you mentioned there, just like us, but better. So when you talk about artificial intelligence, it is talking about maybe the first thing that comes to your mind is what?
Robots.
Robots. Yes, robots. So the question is, can they be better than us?
Can.
Well, don't know yet. Right?
Not
At this point, we're still very early in the stage, but definitely it is a clear trend, right? That a lot of R&D is going into artificial intelligence. Now ask yourself what this means to jobs. Okay, if robots can be better than us, what does it mean for your job? Okay. Firstly, let's look at some of these trends. Right, this one I took it from the Star Online. This one was a very recent news, last Thursday in fact. Okay, 13th of July. Microsoft is now creating a new AI, right, artificial intelligence lab, to take on Google's DeepMind. All right, so both Microsoft and Google are investing very heavily into artificial intelligence because they realize that this is the future. All right. Everyone is looking into this, right? So big companies, Microsoft and Google, is looking into this. And also, I'm not sure whether you have come across this, Amazon in the US, they have come up with this little gadget. It's called Alexa, right? Nice name, right? So basically, you can think of it as like a personal assistant, a digital personal assistant, right? You can talk to it actually, right? And you can see there, Alexa, turn on Welcome Home, or turn on my chill time. All these are all like music playlists, right? So let's say you come home and you want certain music to be played, you tell Alexa and Alexa will play for you, right? It's like a smart home, right? You come in and tell Alexa, please turn on the lights. Or Alexa, please turn on the aircon, set the temperature to 23 degrees Celsius, and it does it for you, right? So this is an early form of artificial intelligence. In a way, well, it is not really thinking by itself, but it is just following your instructions. But who knows what happens next, right? This is the first stage only. Right? In fact, a lot of us, we have smartphones, right? There is AI in this phone as well, right? This is the iPhone, and I'm sure you know there's a Siri, right? And Siri, you can actually talk to her, right? Let's say, have you actually used Siri?
No.
Okay, so I turn on Siri here, and I will say, okay. No, please don't search. It's talking back to me, right? So, hello Siri.
Hi,
How are you tonight?
I feel good.
Really?
I thought so.
You thought so? Okay. It didn't say good, really good, or really, really good yet. Okay? But anyhow, you can see that it's talking to you, right? It's not like every time you talk to him, it gives you a simple answer, right? Maybe 10 years ago, yes, it will just be saying, it will give you the same answer over and over again, all right? But this is AI, it is really talking to you, right? So this is what the world is coming to, right? Artificial intelligence, robots, who are made to become smarter than us. Okay? So
Siri, you are stupid.
now let's see. The other thing that we'll talk about
No,
when it
I'm
comes to
not.
artificial intelligence is automation. Okay? Automation means doing things for us automatically, right? So also maybe robotics and technologies, right? But here this is one example. Have you guys heard of Alibaba? Sure. Jack Ma, Alibaba, right? In China, they're huge. And they have this new cafe. Okay, I'm not sure if you've heard of this. It's called Tao Cafe. It's part of the Taobao group, right? Taobao is their online shopping platform, right? But they have also set up a physical shop or cafe, and this is in China. Now, what's so special about this Tao Cafe? Number one, it has got no staff, no workers at all. All right, everything is self-service, and let's see how it works. Okay, first step, to enter this shop, you just go through the gates. Right, you can see those gates there. You just need to install the app on your phone. It's got a QR code. You scan it in at the gate, and you can go in. All right. So there's automated entry. So once you're in, obviously you shop. Okay? You choose your things, whatever you want, and you scan. Now you can see this guy, he's actually holding the shopping basket and he's walking through like a small room, right? It's actually not a room, it's actually a scanner. This scanner is able to detect all the products that you put into your shopping bag, shopping cart, right? So automatically it knows that you bought this item, that item, so on. It tallies up, it totals up everything, okay? So this is the total that you bought. And then after that, what it does, okay, this is in Chinese, but basically what it's saying is it just deducts from your online account or your credit card. And that's it. You walk out of the shop. Not a single staff in this shop. All self-service. Okay? So what does this mean? It means that for Alibaba or for Taobao, they can actually reduce the cost. Right? In any business, the highest overhead is always the resource cost. The people, the salaries they need to pay their staff. So by cutting that down, they can offer their prices at much lower compared to other competitors. Right? So here again, the question to ask is, what happens to our jobs, right, when automation comes into play? Okay. Another example of automation, in Japan now. Of course, Japan, they are very advanced in terms of robotics, technology, and so on, right? This is one example of how they put robotics into actual practical use. Okay. There's this hotel in Japan. Okay, I've not been there, right? But it is so-called as a robot hotel. Okay. Now again, no staff, right? This is not a real person. Okay. It is a patong, the door, right? Basically, they can talk to you, right? But basically, during check-in, all you need to do is to scan your face. It uses facial recognition technology, so no keys. You don't need any keys. All right. You go to your room. It scans your face, and you go in.
Wow.
Right? No keys required. So that's the first step, right? This is check-in. Next stage, this is for storage of items. I don't know, whatever. Normally, like you go to the reception, you say, oh, I want to put my bag here for a while, and you keep it for me, things like that, right? Now all this is done by robots. All right, you just walk in, put your stuff into a counter. That robot will take it and put it into the cabinet for you. You want to retrieve, you press this on number and retrieve it for you. That's it. No workers, nobody. All right. And then other than that, there's also an automated trolley taking luggage to the room. So like porters, right? You put your bags. Normally people will help you to take you to the room, all those heavy bags and so on, and you pay the tip and so on, right? Now no more, right? All it needs is it just needs to know what room you're in, put your bags there, and it will take you to the room automatically, right? Through a trolley. Okay? No porters, no check-in staff, no people handling the bags. Robot hotel. Okay? Again, brought to you through automation. So again, the question you ask, if you're in a hotel line, for example, this is the trend. What happens to the jobs in hotels? Okay, the next exciting thing, self-driving cars. Now, anyone heard of Tesla? It's not available in Malaysia, unfortunately, right? But it's a US company, right? And they are, I think, one of the first to come up with a self-driving car. What does self-driving car mean? Basically, a car, as the word says, a car that drives by itself. Okay? So this is how it looks like. See, it is actually moving. Okay, I don't know the video, but it's actually moving. Its hands are here, right? It's not touching the steering wheel, and you see the pedals. They're not touching at all. It's just sitting there, and the car is moving by itself, right? So it goes through navigation, the map, right? It's got cameras. The left camera, the front camera, and so on. Everything. It's got radar. It's got all the high technology stuff. Right. So what it does is that it has got sensors that is able to look through heavy rain, dust, fog, and things like that better than the human eye. Right. So one thing, it improves safety. Right. The other thing is, as it drives, what it does is it can also detect cars in front of you and match the speed, so that you don't just bang straight into it. Right, it sees a slow car in front of you, you stop and follow the speed. It can change lanes automatically, right? And it can also self-park. Now, self-parking, I think now a lot of cars also have it already. Alright, but this is also has got self parking, and also it can come to you automatically. Let's say the car is in the garage, you press a button, the car comes in, you drop it off. Cool. Cool technology. Right? So Tesla is one of the first company to come up with this kind of technology, but they are not the only one. These are all the companies that are committed to produce self-driving cars by 2021. Okay, that's only 4 years away.
Wow.
So in 4 years, very likely you will see self-driving cars on the road. And that also means that by the time my son is able to drive, he will be in a self-driving car. So what does that mean? Does he still need to go for the exam?
No.
The driving test exam?
No.
I don't know. It's be interesting to see. Alright? So these are just some, not all. There's actually a whole long list of, these are the major ones, right? I'm sure you notice some of these brands here, right? But other than these car companies, there's also Uber and Google also coming up with their own self-driving cars.
Wow.
Right? So it's sort of disrupting the economy right now. We're not just looking at car manufacturers, but also internet companies, sharing economies like Uber and Google also coming up with their own cars, right? Self-driving. So you imagine that in the future it'll be like this. Right? Going to work, you're just sitting there and reading newspaper, for ladies, you're putting on your cosmetics, makeup, right? Just enjoying the drive to work. This is so much less stressful than you're stuck in a traffic jam, right? The car will drive by itself. Okay? So then it comes back again to the question, what happens to people involved in the transportation industry? Right? Drivers, the support staff and so on. Right? If the car can drive by itself, what does that mean? And not just about cars, right? If it can be done in cars, it can also be done in ships, trucks, buses, trains, you name it, right? In fact, they are all testing right now, right? These are not like 10 years down the road. They are testing automated buses, for example. This one is in Taiwan, right? You can look, this sign basically says that they are testing the automated bus, right? So the bus, there's no driver. It knows where to stop and when to stop, things like that. Right, automated train, ships also, and trucks. It's just fantastic. What technology can do, right? So what happens to the drivers of trucks, trains, conductors, and so on, right? Okay, the next big thing is Internet of Things. Has anyone heard what is this? Short form is IoT, Internet of Things. Okay. Now, Internet of Things is basically you can think of it as sensors or those chips that is embedded into everyday devices. Let's say in your fridge, in your washing machine, anything. It's got a sensor in that. So, like for example, when this thing first came out, they will say your smart fridge. Okay, the fridge is able to detect how much food you have left in your fridge, and when it's not enough, it will order automatically for you over the internet and send to your house. That's a smart fridge, right? Because it's connected to the internet. Right? The fridge is connected to the internet and can do everything automatically for you, right? But I've not actually seen that in wide use. Okay, maybe that's a bit too far out, right? But I think a very practical usage for this Internet of Things is, for example, smart meters, right? Like say electric meter, right? Those the TNB people will come over to your house to check every month how much usage you've been using. It's very manual work, right? They go house by house by house, and then send it back to the HQ, process the bill and so on. With this Internet of Things, if there's a sensor embedded into your electrical meter, all it can do is it will detect how much electricity you have used, send it back to the HQ, to TNB HQ over the internet, and you get your bill. That's all. You don't need anyone going door to door to check the bill, and so on. Right? So again, what does this mean to those poor TNB people who are going every door to check the meter? Okay. Alright? So you can see that technology is really disrupting things, disrupting the job market, right? And this is one report out there, right? IoT or Internet of Things will impact up to 120,000 jobs in India in 4 years' time, by 2025, right? Because of all this automation that's going on. So it's very real, right? All these trends that's happening. Now, then you might ask, okay, what about my job? Okay, for those who are working, what is the risk of your job being automated, right? So far, most of the examples I've shared is, the jobs that are maybe more so-called lower level, right? Blue collar workers, I would say, right? Drivers, hotel staff, or whatever, right? Maybe for all of you here, maybe you're a bit more high level, those who have gone to university, who are holding white collar workers and so on, right? Working in offices, things like that. So you might think that it might not apply to you, right? Well, to a certain extent, yes, okay? Because I think there are certain things that cannot be automated, right? Things like when you need creativity, for example, right? Or maybe jobs that require you to interact with people, right? Maybe in sales staff, marketing, interior designers, architects, doctors, lawyers, and so on. All this still need a human to do it. You can't be having a robot do all this, right? So in this website, I got it from Bloomberg, right? The URL there. What it does is you can actually key in your occupation, your job here, and it will tell you what is your risk of your job being automated in a couple of years' time. All right. So how to look at this graph here? The more towards the right that your job falls under, the higher the risk of your job being automated. Right. The more towards the left, the lower the risk. Okay. And this scale is the salary scale, basically. All right. So for example, this dot here is actually doctors. Okay. So you see these doctors obviously have a lower risk of having their job automated, and of course they are highly paid, right, up here. Okay. Other examples here is already mentioned lawyers, interior designers, architects, those who need creative thinking, right, are all here. So these jobs are sort of safe from automation. Okay. Those on the right hand side, those that are at risk of automation is, I already mentioned, those blue collar workers. But something surprising is even accountants. One of these dots here is representing accountants, auditors as well. So surprisingly, these jobs are also at risk of being automated by robots. Alright? So I did an experiment. I did my job. Well, at least the job that I started off as a computer programmer, right? 20 years back, right? So I keyed it in and let's see what's the result. Here. So it's in the middle, right? About 50-50 chance of computer programming being automated in the next few years, right? So imagine that if I had not made the choice to start with the amway business or to do some other type of role other than computer programming, where would I be now? Or where would I be in the next few years? Same question you need to ask yourself as well, right? So this one you can try yourself. Go to that URL, key in your job and see where the job comes under, right? Really interesting actually. Okay? Okay, so this is just an example that a company like Microsoft, they are actually cutting a lot of jobs because they want people who have human touch, right? Because people who are able to have more creativity and so on, right? So again, this is the trend that are moving forward. So come back to now, all right? Where are you now in your life? You need to ask yourself, and where are you heading, right? So imagine you're at this crossroads here, right? Do you want to continue working on the job, or do you want to explore something else as well, like amway business? All right. Again, I'm not saying that you must choose one or the other. All right. I mean, like for myself, working is one thing. Right. You still need the money for your daily expenses and so on. But at the same time, all right. I mean, every one of us has got 24 hours in a day. Right. Let's say 8 hours you spend sleeping, 8 hours in office. You have another 8 hours that you can do something about it. Right. I mean, as Bill Gates mentioned, for those who are successful, it depends how they use their time after the work, not during the work, right? In life, okay? So the question you will ask is, how are you going to spend that 8 hours? What are you going to do about that? Okay? Now, recently there was this talk, I'm not sure whether any of you attended this, right? This, it was arranged by Star Property, a couple of days back only actually, 15 July, yeah, last weekend, okay? So this gentleman is the CEO of OCBC Bank, okay? And this talk was rising to the top of my career, i.e. rising to the top of the corporate ladder, okay? And he wanted to share some so-called tips on how to climb up the corporate ladder. So I found this interesting. I read this article. I didn't attend the talk, but I read the article. And these are some of the things that he mentioned. Okay. There are no shortcuts to success. Okay. Easily understood. Talent alone is not enough to succeed. Okay. You have a lot of talent, a lot of skills doesn't mean that you can succeed just like that. Alright? What you really need is you need to acquire knowledge in the field of your choice. Right? That means keep on improving in terms of your skills and knowledge. Okay? And also the most important I think is hard work and staying the course. That means being consistent in whatever you do. Alright? So for him to rise to the top of his career, right? I mean, as CEO of OCBC Bank, I think pretty successful. Right? He has got all these tips to share. But what I found was that whatever tips that he mentioned here is also very applicable to the amway business. In fact, even more applicable, I find. Right? Things like continuous learning. We are here to learn every Monday, right? Improve our skills. Then about hard work. Well, for those who are building a business seriously, they are really working very hard on this, right? And of course, not giving up, persistently doing it, right? So the message here I took away from this is that whatever, in order for you to succeed in whether in the corporate world or in amway business, are very similar qualities. It's just a question of where you want to spend your time on, right? And then at the end of the day, what do you get out of it, right? When you say success, right? Let's say he has risen to the top of his career. Do you consider that as successful, right? What is your definition of success, right? Perhaps to him, or to a lot of people, they will say, wow, you're the CEO of the OCBC Bank. The OCBC Bank is a huge bank. Right? Being a CEO of this company is not easy. So I would say a lot of people would say, yes, it is successful. Right? I mean, but if you look at it, what is the definition of success? Okay? Any ideas? When you say someone is successful, what does he have? Anything? Money? Yes, yes. I mean, let's be practical. A lot of people look at that and, CEO has a lot of money, yes. What else?
Career.
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom, yes. Freedom, correct. Power, yes. Influence, power and influence. Anything else?
Able to inspire and motivate.
Inspire people, yes. The leader who can inspire people, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of definition of success. Everyone has got a different definition, I'm sure. You have your own definition of success, right? But let's say if I bring up all these few here, right? Wealth, that's money, basically. Health, I think it's important as well.
Yep.
Right? You have wealth, but you have no health. You are, in my eyes, it is not successful. Right? Family, you have time with family. Right? Hope, you have hope for the future. You have freedom, right? As mentioned, financial freedom, time freedom, whatever, right? And I also find personal growth is something that is very important for a successful person, right? So this, I think, are some of the definitions of what success is, at least to me, all right? Now, can we get all this in every business?
Yes.
We can, right? A lot of these are the founding principles of the amway business, right? But I think what is really unique about the business is not just that you can get all this, that you yourself can get all this, but you can offer this to others as well. I think that's the key difference here, right? In a traditional business or working as an employee, you might be able to get some of this, but you're not able to give it to others, right? You're not able to give an opportunity to others, right? And that's where the new business is so unique, right? Let's look at some of these in a bit more detail, right? So firstly, wealth. Alright, talk about money. Okay, a lot of people, when I ask you the first question, in amway, how much do you make? Okay, of course, obviously they will know you're working, you're already drawing a salary, for example, but then they will always compare with what type of money can you make from amway. Alright, let me show you a quick comparison. Okay, now this is a salary scale for GLC. GLC, you know what's a GLC? Government-linked company, right? So companies like Petronas, Saimabi, all the GLC companies. Now this is not the data that I myself put in, okay? I got this from also a very successful leader in the GLC world and also an amway builder. Yes, he was actually gave a speech here before, Ahmad Zaki, right? high-level person, right? So he works in the GLC, he's the director of the GLC company, so he's able to give all these figures here. And so I believe they are quite accurate. Okay? So if you look at the top here, starting pay, executive, maybe about 3,000. Pretty good, I think, for a starting pay. Okay? Then you move up into senior executive, 4,500. Assistant manager, maybe about 6K a month. Manager of 8K, 8K is pretty good, I think, for a manager pay in GLC. Right? Then the slides. But remember okay. So then after that, a GM, for example, a general manager earns about 16K. That's pretty good money, right? Director of a GLC, 25,000. Okay, pretty good. And bonuses between 1 to 3 months, for example. Okay, so that's a typical salary scale. I mean, in GLC is very structured, and there's all these salary bands, so you can sort of define where you fall within this range, right? Let's compare it with amway. Okay, in terms of amway monthly bonuses, okay? So a strong 18%, you get about 2,000 ringgit per month on average, okay? Silver producer, 4,500, maybe 5,000, right? A platinum, 6,000, perhaps. Now this is just a monthly bonus, it's excluding all the yearly bonuses and stuff like that, right? So just the monthly bonuses that you get out of running the business. Sapphire, maybe 8K, Emerald, 12,000, Diamond, 28,000, and upwards, right? And bonuses is just too many commissions, right? Just to that areas, right? So you can compare here, right? People will ask you, what package are you getting in a company? What type of package, what type of benefits you have, right? Okay, right? For a GLC, you get all this sort of stuff, you get other benefits and so on. But comparatively, when you run the amway business, you can also get pretty similar, right? Pretty good, in fact, even better, right? Because other than this, other than what you get in amway, all these bonuses, obviously you have things like inheritable income, financial security, and so on. It's more than that, right? I mean, if you think about it in a job, right? Can you ever earn more than a CEO?
No.
No way, right? So, and how many CEOs are there in a company?
One.
One and only, right? So, to me, that sounds like a pyramid. I mean, a lot of people are saying, wow, it's really like a pyramid. If you think about a typical company structure, one CEO at the top, and then all the workers all at the bottom, right? Now, but the thing is, well, once you rise up to the role of CEO, you might think, oh, I'm the best. I don't need to report to anyone. In fact, no. Once you become CEO, you have to report to maybe, I don't know, up to 10 people, because then there's a board of directors out there who are looking at you. So you become 10 bosses suddenly. Okay? So that's a CEO, right? If you compare that to amway, right? What is the income potential? I would say it's unlimited. It's all based on your effort, right? And the effort is not based on just current effort. It's also based on past effort, right? That's where inheritable income comes in, right? All your past effort that you put in, let's say one day, right, you pass away, that income passes on to the next generation, right? Whereas in a normal company, do you ever get that, right? No matter how high you rise up to a CEO pay, can it be given to your next generation just like that? No, that never happens, right? So think about it, all right? I mean, there's a lot of value in building a new business, right? That maybe some of you are not really aware of yet. Okay. The next thing is health, right? So as the words say here, being healthy and fit isn't a fad or a trend; it's a lifestyle, right? Nowadays we are in this health and wellness trend, right? You look at all those trends I mentioned just now, the self-driving cars, the automation, the robots. What is the objective of those trends? Lifestyle, correct. Is to make the lifestyle and the quality of life of everyone better, right? Less stress, everything done for you automatically, right? So when people have better quality of life, what do they want next? They want to live longer, correct? They want to be more beautiful, right? So that's where health and wellness comes in, right? So then the question is, how are you going to be part of this trend or so-called revolution, right? You look at this. Have you read this book, The Wellness Revolution, by Paul Pilzer? So it's a good book, right? It talks about the wellness trends, right? So it teaches you what or how you can be part of this trend, right? So for example, you can tell you there's a few options. Number one, you can be a producer, right? That means a producer of health products, supplements, and so on, right? So you earn money by being a producer. Number two is obviously you be a consumer, right? You eat, the supplements, you gain a better health, for example. But there's also a third option, which is a prosumer. You are both a producer and also a consumer at the same time. So you're building a business and also becoming healthy at the same time, right? So that I find is the best, better option in a sense, right? And at least in every business we have the opportunity to do that, right? So the third, the third value here is the family, right? So family value here. Now a lot of people, let's say for those who are working, they go to work to earn a living, right? To maybe to have a better life for their family, right? But I think the irony, the issue here is that you spend so much time with the company that you have so much less time left for your family, right? So then the question is it worth it? What the time that you spend, is it worth it, right? By selling all your time to the company, right? Without any time for the family. So, I mean, you know that amway is a family business. It has always been a family business, right? Husband and wife come in, they join as members, and they build it as a family. Now, why is that important? Because at least then you have a common topic, right? Nowadays, husband and wives, sometimes they do different careers, they have different topics, they sometimes don't even know what to talk about, right? Come home, they just sit down, talk about what? Talk about children. If you got no children, then talk about what? Talk about politics, right? So, but at least with amway, you have a common topic, common goal in life to bring your family up to a certain target or goal in life, right? Then you can strategize together. How nice is that, right? Both husband and wife can do that, and you can lead the family in that sense, right? For example, just give an example, my business partner, Kali, she has got 7 brothers and sisters, big family, right? And through the amway business, now all of them obviously sign up, okay? And through the amway business, we are building it together as a family, right? And what does that mean? It means first thing is we get a lot more chance to meet, right? Normally, family time, a big family, when is the time that you normally meet?
During marriage,
Yeah, special events, Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, once a year, twice a year, that's all, right? For us, because we have got so many events going on and everyone is building the business together, we get to meet so often, nearly every week as well, right? So doesn't that give you a chance to build up the family bonds at that time, right? So that is one of the values I find that amway can bring to us. Okay, hope. Now I'm sure everyone knows who this is, right? The former president, the 44th president of the United States, right? Barack Obama. He came to office with the message of hope, right? And that's why he was able to win the election, right? By giving hope to people, right? Same to us, right? For us, as I mentioned, the thing unique about any business is we are able to offer hope to people who are already hopeless, who have got no clue on what to do next, right? So, as Dr. John Maxwell said, right, when there is hope for the future, there is power for the present, right? That means they feel empowered, right, to improve their lives once they see there's hope, right? Now, obviously, freedom is one of the key values of any business, right? Freedom here can be financial freedom, time freedom, uncommon freedom, whatever, right? You decide what you want to do anytime, anywhere, anyhow, right? So I call that really freedom, right? So it's, a lot of people, when they're working, they say, I'm also got freedom, but I can decide what time I go to office, sometimes, right? Flexibly. I can decide when to take vacation. You can decide that, the boss can say no. that is so-called freedom, right? So, I mean, the freedom that we're talking here about is really about the freedom to control your life. That whatever you want to do, you do it, right? Not to be controlled by others, right? For those who are in the corporate world, let me just show you a quick example, right? For example, so the general manager asks for a report that he wants tomorrow, right? Wants a report to be discussed tomorrow, okay? Very common, right? So the GM says, I want a report. So he tells his assistant general manager at the next level, right? Remember up pyramid. Okay, so after general manager, assistant general manager. Okay, so now he says, I want to report by end of the day. Okay, he tells his next level that he wants to report by end of the day, even though his boss already says it's okay, give me tomorrow, right? Why? Kiasu lah. You want to show the boss, wow, I can get it faster. Alright, is it common? Have you come across this?
Yes.
Right? Then, so the department manager says, give me the report after lunch. From end of the day become after lunch lah. Okay? So what happens to the department supervisor? I'm going to report 1 hour. Right? From the top line it says, am I tomorrow also can. But here by the time it reaches you, 1 hour only 1 hour to do the report. Is this freedom? I mean, okay, this is for fun, okay? I mean, it's just, but sometimes it's quite true, right? In a corporate world, because, you know, there's a lot of levels and everyone wants to take care of everybody, there's a lot of politics there, this is what happens, right? And you at the bottom are one who's suffering, okay? So, that's why I find freedom is one of the most important things that at least for me, you know, that we want to build, why we want to build a business, okay? So, and I think the last thing was in terms of personal growth. Okay? So if you read this, it says personal growth is not a matter of learning new information, but of unlearning, right, the old limits, right? I find this very true, right? Especially in amway world, right? In amway, we've been taught things like empty your cup, right? You come in, you know, you're telling you just forget about how things were done in the past. You need to relearn everything, all right? Because firstly, I think a lot of us we are not familiar with how this business runs. We are not in the nutrition field. We are not in the beauty field. We are all coming from all different backgrounds. So we need to forget whatever we've learned in university or in work and so on, and relearn everything again, all right? So and that is called personal growth because then you're learning new things, all right? Then things like, of course, a lot of other values that you get out of this is, as I mentioned as well, working hard, persistence, never giving up, you know, leadership, motivation, all this. Did you get to learn all of this in the corporate world? No. I mean, maybe to a certain extent there are certain companies who actually invest in this type of training, but again, those type of training is very focused on corporate environment, right? How to be a better worker, right? But here, we are telling you how to be a better person, right? In life, how to be successful in life, right? So I find that's why personal growth is so important, right? And I think a lot of people say that if you're not growing, you're actually moving backwards. It's not just not moving, you're actually going backwards if you don't grow in life, right? So it's actually very important to grow yourself, okay? So again, right, so these are all the so-called definitions of success. As I said, everyone is different, but I think here you need to think for yourself, okay? Whether in the corporate world or in every business or for that matter in your life, right? What do you want to achieve, right? Then after that you decide how are you going to get there, right? Which choice are you going to make, okay? So this is how it looks like to climb the corporate ladder, I guess. Okay, you have success at the top, right? You're climbing, okay? And so a lot of people say there's no elevator to success, you have to take the stairs or the ladder, right? So basically saying you need to work very hard, right, to climb up to the top, okay? Now, I would say that I disagree with this. Success is a journey. It is not a destination. It is not the end goal, all right? Success is how you went through the journey of success. That is how you have grown yourself, how you have inspired others to follow you as well on the journey, right? So, the elevator of success. Now, coming back to why I mentioned amway is like an elevator, right? Now, as I mentioned, building amway business is not easy, right? You can think of it as like you're building the elevator, okay? You're trying to build the elevator, right? But after you put in a lot of effort to build the elevator, and you're not building it yourself, you're building it together with all your friends and all your group together, right? Building the elevator. But once the elevator is done, all you need to do is to step on the elevator and just cruise through life, right? Because you have put in all your effort already to build an elevator, right? The first few years in building a business, you go through 3%, 6%, 9%, 12%, all the way to platinum, and after that, on and on. That is the part of building the elevator, right? The moment you reach, emerald, platinum, emerald, diamond, and so on, etc., that is when you are cruising on the elevator, right? And you are building all your past efforts and you are gaining the benefits from that. But then again, we're not saying that once you reach diamond, you also stop, right? I mean, you've seen all the leaders here, once they become diamond, they still continue doing the business. And why? Because they want to inspire others to do the same as well. They want to help others, right? So that's why I said success is not just a destination. It is really a journey along life, right? So with that, just want to, sort of end the sharing with this quote for Will Smith, the famous actor, right? Your life will become better by making other lives better. Right? Don't think about building a business for your own self only, right? It's really about, as I said, the uniqueness of this is to be able to offer and to help other people to improve their lives. When they improve their lives, then you improve your life as well. All right? Okay, with that, thank you very much.